today. They played on Utah. Brady and Landon Smith are Craig's kids. And one's the director of operations, the other's a walk-on. And both those kids showed up today, and which is pretty amazing. I mean, I know you guys, this is a business, and it's a hard business, and I get all those things, but, like, we all have families. We all have kids. And for his kids to show up today, and, you know, and Craig, I talked to him today, and didn't have one bad word to say. Straight class. For his boys to show up today with their teammates, it says something. This stuff's hard. What we go through, even when it's going good, it's hard. And I know you guys have opinions and this and that. This isn't against the media. This is just society in general. And us guys that decided to coach, there's a lot of really cool things that come with it. But there's a lot of tough stuff. There's a lot of tough days. And you know what? There's a lot of times your family gets neglected because what we're doing to try to, you know, to prove our worth as a coach, to prove our value, to prove that we belong at this level. And so I got a lot of respect for those two young men. Yeah, it's impressive. Those dudes showed up with their teammates today. And the Utah team, they played their ass off today. And I knew they were going to throw some curveballs at us, and they obviously did with the triangle and two in the second half. And hey, we got the victory. That was mission accomplished. Our guys played pretty well for certain parts of the game, and you know, we respect Utah and those guys showing up today, with considering everything they're going through. So I'll take some questions.
Come about that you called Craig Smith? I mean, was that an awkward conversation to have?
Bruce, every exchange between humans doesn't have to be awkward. And he and I are colleagues, and you know, we got to know each other coaching in the Pac-12, and we kind of came into the league together. So, you know, but I think, you know, do Craig and I talk on the phone a lot? No. Do we completely understand what everybody goes through all the time? Yes. So you develop a brotherhood, because there's not too many people that know what your life's really like. And the stress you feel, and the pressure that's on you, and trying to figure out your team and everything comes with it. It was just one guy calling another guy because he respects him, and I just wanted him to know that, hey, he's a great dude, and sorry that happened, and I hope he and his family are okay. I called him.
When Caleb plays like he does, like he did tonight, how much different is the team?
I mean, Caleb was great today at both ends of the floor. You know, he really took that challenge to guard Madsen. Madsen's a heck of a player. We had played against him for 3 years. 3 years. You talk about an energizer bunny and relentless energy. That dude is moving all the time. And the degree of difficulty on some of his shots that he can hit are impressive. I thought Caleb did a great job. I mean, he guarded him for the most game. I mean, I think I looked at the final stats. He ended up 2 for 10 from three, but I only think he had 8, you know, until the last minute. So Liam Lloyd and Grant Whiteman each gave him a 3, so they probably got a set of lines tomorrow. But Caleb did an amazing job for the Warriors. And I think he banked one of those threes in, right? Didn't he in the first half? The first one was a bank 3, I think. So Caleb did an amazing job. You know what? But here's your reward. You get a chance to do it again on Saturday. So, you know, what you did today was great, but now it's March basketball. It needs to be again Saturday.
When he does this, does it lift the team? Does it just make it look different?
Well, for sure. I mean, listen, Caleb obviously gives us a higher ceiling. And he plays with that energy and focus at both ends of the floor. Obviously, we're a better team. You know, you probably could say that for a bunch of other guys on our team too. But when guys play well and we play well, and so you know, Caleb was a standout tonight, and other guys have been standouts on other days.
Parts of the second half feel casual, maybe from the effort standpoint?
I mean, listen, a little bit. I mean, maybe a little bit casual. You know, but they were throwing a lot at us. You know, they're going down, switching defenses every possession, and you know, this time of year, you know, you're playing teams, and you know, the deeper you get into March, and this time of year, teams are pretty set in the ways they do things, and obviously there's a little curveball here. And you know, I had not seen him play much triangle in 2. But I also knew Josh, you know, and he's been in this situation before. He went through it last year at West Virginia. You know, I mean, sometimes when you're in that role, you can come in and and throw pitches that maybe aren't in your repertoire. And he did that today, and so that kind of made the game feel a little bit disjointed. But I'm proud of the way our guys handled it. Listen, I could have coached it different. I could have called timeouts and started getting on the whiteboard and all this stuff. But I'm fine that we struggled a little bit. We got the win. We dealt with a little bit of adversity. Hey, maybe now next time if somebody tries a triangle and 2 on us, we can address it a little bit and be a little bit more familiar with it.
With them changing up so much, you guys finished with 7 turnovers, so just that number, your impressions of that?
Yeah, we had 2 in the first half. We had 7, and we've really been talking about taking care of the ball. And I think for the most part, our guys are doing a good job as a team taking care of the ball. I think we've just been having some individual lapses. So we really kept trying to focus on, not as a team, but more as individually. Like, if each one of you could take away that one turnover, that one habit that you're having, the individually, collectively, that'll mean a lot. And so I think our guys did a good job of that. I think individually is better, but 7 turnovers in a 40-minute game that's a great thing, and that's a winning formula for us.
You mentioned the higher ceiling, obviously, with Caleb. How different do you feel like as this season's gone on are you in the sense that you can win maybe when he's not doing that and then when he does?
I think that's important. It's a team game. We can't just be dependent on one guy, and we've never tried to be dependent on one guy. So we got to be able to, as we get to the conference tournaments and into March or even through the Big 12 season, you've got to be able to survive games where a guy like Caleb doesn't play well, and we've done that.
Over the last few weeks, been kind of stressful games, close games, one-possession games.
Last few weeks.
Last couple of weeks,
How about a few months?
Let's go with 2 weeks.
Okay.
Was this kind of a relief game? You needed the game just to get through it?
I mean, I don't know if it's a relief game. I mean, I'm sitting over there trying to figure it out in the second half, and I'm not worrying about what the score is. But yeah, it was nice. I mean, it's nice to get a win and maybe have it be a little bit more comfortable. But we're not asking for things to be comfortable. Because, I know Saturday, it's going to be very uncomfortable. So we better be comfortable in an uncomfortable environment. And for the rest of the season, I think that's just how it's going to be. So I thank the Big 12 for that. I honestly do, in a good way. Not that we didn't have stressful moments in the Pac-12, but we've had a good stretch of them here, and I think we're going to be better for it in the long run.
Speaking of Caleb, what kind of reception do you think he'll get out there? And do you have to talk to him about that, or do you think,
Where?
At Iowa State, after the game he had?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to pay attention to that.
Or is that something where you talk?
You know how much that kid's been booed in his life? Yeah. So probably business as usual.
Yeah, I was just wondering, or if you talk to him just in general about, how he approaches things mentally, or is he, at this point in his career, you pretty much don't touch him?
Well, I think he's been through the battles and the wars, so I would expect him to show up and be unaffected. That would be that better be what happens.
They mentioned at halftime the prom king for Banner attended your basketball camp. Just that experience and seeing that type of stuff. I know it's hard during a game, but
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know they were doing that tonight. Billy, right? It's big time. I mean, hey, that's really cool. And listen, it's not my basketball camp. It's Arizona's basketball camp. So let's make that clear. They've been running basketball camps for years, and it's about Arizona basketball. It's not about me. So, what's really cool about the camps here is, how many people have come up to me and their first, initial intimate experience with Arizona basketball is probably watching the game with their family, then maybe coming to a game at McKale. But the connection is driven for a lot of these kids. And they went to the Lute Olson basketball camp. They went to the Sean Miller basketball camp. They went to the Tommy Lloyd basketball camp. That's amazing. I mean, I have guys tell me, from 40 years ago. So I think that's really special, what those camps mean to this community. And for Billy to come here and for what he's gone through, I mean, Billy, is obviously, I think he's had a leg amputated. And it's amazing. The more I get into Tucson, the more I'm learning about all the amazing programs and community, things here that support, people that are going through tough times. And that's really special stuff, and that really, really touches my heart. So good for Billy, and that's awesome. And he's probably a little bit too old to come to camp now, but I can't wait to see him and give him a big hug. You guys are easy.
All right. Thanks, Chris.
All right.
One
That was Eddie Bruce's one more.
As you might
The one more, Bruce. You know,
well, as you
Bruce
might
is like that friend in college. When you're ready to go home, he's like, no, one more. You know what I mean? Like, bad news, Bruce. Yeah, and you always stay and take it. And like, here you go. And the next morning, you're like, man, I shouldn't have did that.
It's because we're not gonna probably get you before Saturday's game. So I'm just wondering how are you, with this shorter sort of turnaround, how do you?
Bruce, the same thing I've told you the last 8 weeks. We got 2 days to prepare. We're going to start practice tomorrow, preparing for Iowa State. We'll continue that preparation, Friday, and then, and fly there and get there and get settled in. Saturday, we'll have a shoot around and, let's go. I mean, it's going to be an awesome. I'm excited. I mean, we're excited to go, see what this deal is all about. Obviously, we've heard a lot about it, and I'm sure it's going to be awesome. And I'll guarantee you, their fans have something waiting for us. Probably more than just Caleb, and that's awesome. We're here for it.
So you're gonna go early Thursday? Because sometimes you've gone 2 days before, right? I didn't know what.
No,
We're going Friday.
Friday.
Early Friday. You're gonna practice here first and then go?
Yep.
Have you ever coached there before?
Nope.
Coached again there?
No. Never coached there. So I'm excited to see what it's about. So, all right, guys. Have a good one.
Questions for Carter and Tobe?
Nothing.
How do you think the response was this game after just the tough loss a few days ago?
I thought it was good. Obviously last game was tough. But the fact of the matter is that we gave up 90-plus points. So defensively, we had a lot of areas to improve in, and I thought we responded well today. JB, Caleb chasing 55 around the court, do all those screens. Henry blocking shots, contesting shots, being in help, playing great paint defense. Stuff like that. I thought we really improved in.
When Caleb plays the way he did tonight and sometimes throughout the season, how much better are you guys?
I feel like we're unstoppable. When you have a All-American playing the way he does at that high of a level, it's very hard for us to be beat because we have so many weapons on the court, guys that can get downhill, guys that can make reads on and off the ball, whether that's cutting, and he has so much gravity. I think that's been one thing he's really starting to learn this year is just the gravity he has on the basketball court.
For either of you, have you ever played in a game against a team that had just fired its coach right before?
No.
Did you see anything from Utah where looked like a team that was trying to do something different because they just went through something?
No, not necessarily. I think they did a great job of just coming out and competing at the end of the day. That's all you can ask for, especially in a situation like that. They came out, competed to the best of their abilities tonight. And, I mean, props to them. They have really good players and a good coaching staff.
Can we expect Headband Carter to stay?
I don't know. It might be Tope's call.
I mean, I like it personally. I think he rocks it. I think he rocks it.
Anything led to that, Carter, or superstitions, or just changing it up? Or?
No, KJ and Trey were supposed to wear it with me tonight, but they didn't end up wearing it. They left me out there alone. Left me out there lone soldier.
Are they planning to wear it at the next game?
I don't know. I might make them wear it. I might just put it on their heads for them.
Do you guys feel, how do you feel in general? You seem like, among other things, the way you've evolved this year, early in the year was a lot of talk, you know, if Caleb's on, this team can't win. Now you've proven you can win without him, and then, like you said today, you've got him going on, it kind of gives you that extra cushion, or what would you say about the way he's kind of evolved and you guys have also around him?
I think he's just playing free. You know, a guy of his caliber, a guy of his status, there's a lot of pressure on him, and he's way harder on himself than, you know, any of the coaching staff, any of us as teammates, and you know, I think it was just really just take a deep breath and just know who you are, you know what your talent is, and go out and show the world, you know, and I think that's what he's been doing as of late, and then, you know, we as teammates are supporting him through the highs and the lows, making sure that he stays even keel. And, you know, he's a leader for us.
You do too, Toby. But Carter, do you see a difference in Caleb maybe defensively? I mean, everyone talks about shooting, but it seems like what he did on Madsen helped. Madsen anyway helped. You know, and do you find in practices even he's a different guy defensively?
Yeah, in practices, workouts, in the game, I feel like he's always been a pretty good defender, really good defender. But, I mean, I think we're starting to more light is starting to be shed on it just because he's guarding some of the best players in the country night in and night out. He's doing a great job. And I think that not necessarily that he gets disrespected, but, like, he's a really good defender, whether it's on or off the ball. He's always engaged. He's always reading the passing lanes. He gets his hands on passes constantly. He's actually a pretty good rim protector for his size. So, like, just seeing those things from him and also him being the leader of this team, him doing all the little things, the dirty work, just constantly giving effort and energy on the defensive end of the ball, it gives everybody else no excuse to do the same.
For both of you, what does it mean to see a guy like Grant come in, hit a shot, especially in Big 12 play, you don't get the opportunity a lot?
I mean, personally, Grant is one of my favorite human beings, just period, beyond basketball and all that. You know, during practice, he's such a killer, you know, doing what he does, and then just to see him, you know, showcase that tonight at the end of the game, it was really fun to see.
I agree. I remember when I first came to school, we were playing open runs, and I was like, yo, there's no way this dude is a walk-on.
No,
like,
facts.
he was mid-range, three to the rim, however you wanted it. So seeing him to go get those 2 rebounds, me and Tobe looked at each other when he got that first rebound. We were like, that was better than any rebound we got tonight. But for him to hit that shot as well, I mean, he puts in work just like anybody else on the team. So it was great to see him do that tonight.
What do you guys expect Saturday, you know, especially after that game you have with Iowa State here, and their reputation there, of course, seems like it's a pretty crazy place.
We expect nothing less than a dogfight. Great basketball team, great coaching staff. So we're just going to go in and play as hard as possible. We're going to be locked in defensively, offensively, understand our schemes and coverages and their personnel and tendencies. We're just going to go out and hope for the best.
It looks like Houston's, you know, they clinched the tie for first as a second. If you beat Iowa State, you know, maybe you're in position for second at least. I mean, is that, you guys thinking about that kind of stuff, or is it more, you know?
I mean, the only thing in our heads right now is win out the regular season. You know, people like to get caught up on all the standings and stuff, but I think, you know, you're trying to win every game no matter what, so just stay locked into that.
Yeah, just trying to get better day by day, practice by practice, not try to look too far ahead. Just try to learn from our mistakes tonight and even BYU and just keep moving forward.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks.